Give me 16 minutes and I'll give you the best Cyberpunk ever. New Game Plus is now available. Graphics are completely revamped. There are enhanced crowds, new enemies, and better customization. Car physics are changed and you can even use Nitro. Plus some vehicles are now flyable. Combat is more challenging and enemies are smarter. There's third-person camera. Player needs and cyberpsychosis are simulated. There are more relationship interactions. You can even chat with game characters real-time using AI, and in-game cyber customization is finally possible. You can find my full mod list and all download links in the video description. Enjoy! Enemies of Night City. It completely overhauls game difficulty and how enemy factions work in the game, making combat more challenging and less repetitive. For start, each enemy has different weaknesses and immunities and also uses different combat abilities, like they can charge jump, use active camouflage, or replenish their health points in combat. Plus, there are new mini-bosses added to the game. Netrunners are finally lethal and threatening. They can boost and heal their allies in combat, and they also get access to more quick hacks, including the system collapse. All enemies are smarter and more responsive, like they can block melee attacks with their own katanas, plus bigger enemy targets can be choked or staggered. It works best with Law Enforcement Overhaul, which completely reworks how law enforcement works in the game. Long story short, all districts have their own unique response force now. For example, Night Corp enforces law in Badlands, Corporate Security replaces NCPD in Norfolk protecting the wealthy and influential, and since there's no NCPD in Pacifica, mercenaries will neutralize criminals over there. Additionally, NCPD response force itself is more varied than ever, including detectives, Netwatch Netrunners, and mechs. Night City Alive. It completely revamps how Night City crowds and NPCs behave. For start, bikes are now part of regular traffic, increasing the variety of vehicles you encounter. Night City gangs patrol districts now and will attack both hostile gang members and police officers in their vicinity. Plus, civilian pedestrians aren't so passive anymore and will react to gang violence. Additionally, when exploring Badlands, raids will more frequently attack thee. And finally, they will remember. It introduces gang reputation and retaliation system. In a nutshell, each time V eliminates any criminal, their gang will remember that and will attack V on sight or send hit squads after them. However, you can hide V's identity by frequently changing clothes and covering their face to not lose any gang reputation. Also, wearing enough faction-affiliated clothes makes it possible to fool gangs into thinking you are one of their friends, so they won't attack you unless you do suspicious things. Cyberpunk visual modding scene is crazy insane, but not everybody has a crazy insane PC. So instead of showcasing graphic mods that only 3 people in the world can use, I'll show graphic mods that revamp graphics, but also fix broken things and improve performance so anybody can use them. Now, without further delay, time to improve things. Ultra Plus. If you use ray tracing, you need this mod. In short, it increases ray tracing performance, it fixes many engine visual bugs, improving image quality, and it does better artifact denoising. It's super customizable, and it also gives you access to all the ray tracing methods if you ever need them. If you want full visual revamp, you need a loot, and the best way to compare different loots is to use Loot Switcher. Now, in short, a loot is a file that changes colors to create a different visual feel with no performance effect, and this mod allows you to swap different loots while in the game. I use Nova Loot the most, but it is entirely dependent on the weather mod I use. Speaking of which, Nova City, by far the best weather mod available. There are 11 weather states in vanilla, and this mod increases that number to more than 50. It also contains custom transitions between weather types, it fixes auto exposure bug, and overall makes atmosphere feel super realistic. Although, it makes nights a little bit too dark, so I recommend using ENV Tuner to set exposure level to your preference. I find it super funny how the game looks great, but draw distance and floating car JPEGs are literally from 2 decades ago.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
Okay. Population spawn range extended increases pedestrian and traffic density and quadruples distance at which traffic will be spawned, meaning that you can now use high distance 2D cars without breaking immersion. While a duo of improved environment LODs and improved vegetation LODs increases LODs of static objects so draw distance isn't as bad as it is in vanilla. No more duplicate NPCs. It reduces the amount of duplicate NPCs among pedestrians, but since it's super CPU intensive, I drop its frequency slider to 10%. It works best with dynamic NPC items, which ensures NPCs more frequently interact with different objects, like eat various types of food, carry handbags, or use smartphones. I mainly use 5 texture mods for this game. HD Reworked Project, ETO, and High-Res NPCs are the first 3. They cover majority of textures like character faces, walls and buildings, street surfaces and much more. Pre-Water, as it simply increases quality of water in the game, making it look absolutely pristine. Better windows, as it removes blurry window textures and replaces them with parallax textures that just look way better. And finally, enable advert animations. It does what the name says, bringing more life to Night City atmosphere. And speaking of bringing more life to the game, I always had an impression that vehicles and car tuning were supposed to be an important part of the game, but unfortunately we never got to see any of that. Luckily, we have mods, so vehicles are now awesome. CVO, also CVO DLC bundle. They both add their base game vehicle stats to make them feel more unique. They added things like top speed, acceleration, traction level, and many more. As for driving model, I use a bunch of individual tweaks rather than one unified mod, so I will just name them all. Dynamic downforce makes cars easier to turn at higher speeds. Gripped up reduces wheel spin to make acceleration easier. Dynamic gravity modifier changes gravity multiplier and makes stunt jumps more possible. Null's angle correction removes jump auto-correction, allowing more random jumps and crashes. Cyber drift makes drifts easier to maintain, although not every car in the game can be used for drifting. Baby driver reduces the amount of steering auto-correction the game forces, so you can feel more in control when driving cars. Nitros gives any car nitrous boost on push of a button, and Shift revamps how vehicle camera works, making it feel super aggressive and immersive. Realistic car crashes. It unlocks car damage models, so collisions result in spectacular damage. Nova traffic. Absolute necessity to install any traffic density mod. Basically, it allows you to customize traffic variety and reduce the amount of duplicate vehicles. You can also use it to spawn motor vehicles like public buses in traffic. Virtual car dealer. It has a couple of features, but it's mainly used as a framework to buy motor vehicles in the game without needing to use console commands. Whether it's a real-life classic, something more modern, or… well, I have no idea what this is, but hey, it works! Car modification shop, the OG car tuning mod. You're probably already using it, so I'll be brief. Basically, it allows you to upgrade vehicle performance by spending any zone car parts. With many options available, you can customize your car however you like. And drive an aerial vehicle. The name is self-explanatory. It allows you to use flying cars and helicopters. Simply summon one and get inside it like in a normal car, and then use it to fly over Night City to move around more quickly. While Cyberpunk is a great game, I think CDPR missed an opportunity to make it much more immersive. For example, there is no meaningful reputation system, appearance customization in general is super basic, plus interacting with the world feels very limited. Luckily, we have mods, starting with Dark Future. It changes everything. For start, there are 3 new basic needs: hydration, nutrition, and energy. They will deplete as time progresses, and their status is visible on a newly added UI. Now, your V must eat, sleep, and drink, or face dire consequences. Like if you are hungry, your gun reloads and sword swings will be much slower. There's also 4th need, the nerf. It depicts mental well-being V currently has. Things like fighting or eliminating enemies will all increase nerf, and current nerf status is visible on the screen. Your gun will start shaking the lower the nerf is, and V will perish if it's fully depleted. You can manage V's nerf either by consuming stimulants, risking addictions, or by hanging out with V's friends and love interest. It works best with Wannabe Edge Runner, the OG cyberpsychosis mod. To explain it shortly, any cyber warrior you install and any people you kill decreases V's humanity, which increases chance of cyberpsychosis attacks. And whenever that happens, the entire Night City law enforcement will attempt to take you down. Some people may find it pointless, but I find it disappointing how there are no ways to just chill in Night City and embrace the atmosphere. So I use a combination of super small mods to change that. Sit anywhere makes it so you can sit on any flat surfaces. Idle anywhere allows you to smoke cigars or snack on food anywhere. Lean anywhere allows you to lean on guardrails, while immersive bartenders and immersive food vendors makes it possible to physically drink and eat consumables at bars and from food vendors rather than consume them via inventory. Generative texting. It massively improves relationships as it basically allows you to chat in real time with an AI that imitates game characters. Well, not for everybody. I find it super cool that you can send and receive new text messages from game characters this way. NCI, the original Hangout mod.
Well, what's up, V?
Also, Romance Hangouts Enhanced and Hangout Romances. All 3 increase the amount of interactions we can have with love of interest, making relationships feel more realistic. The last one also adds new romance scenes. The fact that almost any random NPC gets to wear super nice clothes that V doesn't have access to is beyond frustrating to me. Luckily, we have Virtual Atelier and Equipment Axe. Must install mods if you haven't already. The first one gives you access to Shop's online and is required by pretty much any good-looking clothing mod. The latter adds new equipment slots, so you can wear all types of cool things, like necklaces and dog tags, military backpacks, new types of shoes, or even gloves. Visible cyberware is one of the most requested features, and Burger's cyberware finally adds it to the game. It simply unlocks new cybernetic body parts like feet and kneecaps, but also new arms and cybernetic skin. It's compatible with the majority of body overhaul mods, and using the cyberware is as easy as equipping clothes. EBB. Out of all body mods I tested, this is the one I used the most, for various reasons. First, it removes the bug where your character will have mismatched body proportions in different outfits. It's compatible with body physics mods. Almost all good-looking clothing mods will include EBB riffed by default, so you won't have to do it yourself, and you may encounter female NPCs enhanced with this mod randomly. It works best with VTK. It does many things, but mainly increases polygon count of different body parts like hands and feet, and it increases body textures quality. Additionally, it allows you to overlay body textures like tattoos if you want to. Gym Feeds, my way to go mod for male V. It does everything EBB and VTK do except for male player character, making Vincent look like he hits the gym on a regular basis. Arasaka Cyber Arms mod is natively compatible with it. It's super funny how player appearance is meant to be super important in this game, only for it to be exclusively a first-person shooter. Anyways, a third-person mod. It makes walking, jogging, and running possible in third person. It's super clunky by default, so you best pair it with walk by default, but at least now you get to see your character that you've spent so much time customizing. And speaking of other requested features, New Game Plus, probably the most requested thing. It allows you to restart a game but keep obtained equipment and character level. It also adds new starting points after the Kenpeki Plaza heist, so you can skip the intro. Limited HUD. It automatically hides HUD when you don't need it and unhides it when you do, making the game feel much more immersive this way. But since it has the minimap, you'll most likely also need in-world navigation mods to conveniently know where to go. Grappling Hook. My favorite mod for years. Basically, it gives me access to Grappling Hook. You can use it to traverse around the environment faster, or to reach spots on the map that are normally very hard or impossible to get to. Plus, obviously, it adds new ways of moving around the world during missions or just for fun. Computer Anywhere. By far the best quality of live mod you can install, as it gives me access to portable PC that can be used at any moment to either browse the internet or to shop remotely. For extra convenience, I use it alongside Enhanced Craft and Unlock Media mods. The first one completely revamps how weapon crafting works by allowing things like selecting weapon skins, adding new weapon names, and choosing special effects. So now you can craft whatever suits you the most. The latter allows you to unequip any mod from any weapon, which is how the game worked before 2.0 patch, and equip attachments previously locked to specific weapon classes with lower restrictions. Steel Vehicles. One of my favorites. It's super useful as whenever you see a car that you would like to own, you can steal it and deliver it to marked parking spot on the map to assign it permanently as your own. Also, when used together with Virtual Car Dealer, you can then sell stolen vehicles for quick profits. I've been playing tactical games for the last couple of months way more than I probably should, and it got me thinking if it's possible to make Cyberpunk combat feel more realistic, more tactical and more punishing, but without losing the variety of all different playstyles. And yes, it is possible. Hardcore 22. It completely overhauls game difficulty and rebalances damage output, making combat more hardcore-like. First, everybody's health values are standardized, meaning that you deal as much damage to your opponents as they deal to you. Enemies aren't bullet sponges anymore and are absolutely lethal at close range. Also, mechs and drones are more durable now, since they are heavily armored. V is super vulnerable at low character levels, and character builds must be more carefully planned. However, aggressive stealth lifestyle is more viable now, and becoming Cyber God requires serious investment in both body and technical abilities. I use it alongside drone companions. Originally released 3 years ago, it was updated last year, and it allows me to craft and control military drones. While the mod sets limit to just 2 drone companions at the same time, they can help you by finishing off enemies, tanking damage and stunning your opponents, or simply jumping into passenger seats and helping you in car chases. Stealth Runner. It fixes underwording stealth playstyle. First, it adds new stealth-oriented objectives that incentivize players to complete missions quietly in return for experience points. These experience points can be then traded for brand new skills. For example, there is one that allows me to pickpocket NPCs without ever needing to start gunfights. Also, obtaining enough experience will lead to cyber and weapon rewards. Like there's new Silent Smart Sniper Rifle that allows you to silently kill enemies from far away. Cyberware X. It works nicely alongside Hardcore 22 as it allows you to install more cyberware at the same time. It makes V2 overpowered, so rebalanced patching is required, and I use Rayto Labs for that. It's a custom collection of new cyberware from a new manufacturer. It adds 9 brand new cyberware, like Blackwell's Somatic Link that overloads all systems at cost of health, Rayto Gravitas that combines both charge jump and double jump into one package, or Chronos Sandevistan that bridges netrunning and Sandevistan. Recon is impossible without netrunning, so I naturally used Nanodrone mod. In short, with this one installed, you can buy new Nanodrone cyberware, which allows you to scan surrounding area for possible threats from safe distance, to better plan close engagements, or to avoid them altogether. Santa Muerte, aka Permadeath mode. It makes the game more challenging, as it makes the relic only revive V a limited amount of times per single playthrough. While not for everybody, I love how it makes dying super impactful and forces optimizing builds at lower levels when V is usually the weakest. For extra immersion, I use it with Thor additional mods. Weapon conditioning expands on realism by adding new weapon condition statistic. Basically, all weapons get worn out as you use them, so you must fix or replace them. Otherwise, they will jam or even lose quality level when they get too worn out. Advanced Control adds control mechanics known in milsims, like leaning with weapons equipped or controlling walk speed with mouse wheel, while simple flashlights and night vision mod make it easier to see in the dark. And finally, Ragdoll Physics Overhaul. Physics in the vanilla game are somewhat bad, and this mod tweaks them to more acceptable level. It improves NPC ragdolls after car collisions, after them being eliminated with range weapons, and also after being unalived with melee finishers. With all that said, roll the credits.